The sudden death of actress Hayden Panettiere at just 36 years old has sent shockwaves through Hollywood, Ukraine, and the millions of fans who followed her remarkable career. Known around the world for unforgettable roles in Heroes and Nashville, Hayden spent much of her life in the public eye. But behind the fame was a deeply personal journey involving childhood stardom, motherhood, addiction, recovery, heartbreaking family loss, and a determination to rebuild her life. Now, following her death, her former partner and the father of her daughter, Ukrainian boxing champion Wladimir Klitschko, has spoken publicly about the devastating loss. Klitschko shared an emotional statement as his family struggled to process Hayden's death. He described the situation as a time of profound shock and grief, and remembered Hayden as someone who had built an incredible career through immense talent while also facing the darker sides of an extremely demanding entertainment industry. His words offered a rare glimpse into the personal grief surrounding the actress's death. For years, Hayden and Klitschko had shared one of the most closely watched relationships in her life. Although they eventually separated, they remained connected through their daughter, Kaya. Hayden Panettiere was only 36 years old. According to authorities in South Carolina, emergency personnel responded on Sunday afternoon to a report of cardiac arrest at a residence in Greenville. Hayden was reportedly found unresponsive inside a home where she had been temporarily staying. Medics attempted to resuscitate her, but she was pronounced dead at the scene. The news immediately raised questions about what had happened. However, authorities have not yet released an official cause of death. An autopsy reportedly found no signs of trauma that contributed to her death, but additional testing is still required before the official cause and manner of death can be determined. That distinction is extremely important. Reports have circulated about emergency dispatch audio referencing a possible overdose, but authorities have not confirmed that an overdose occurred. At this point, it would be irresponsible to present that possibility as fact. The official investigation remains ongoing. For Hayden's family, however, the investigation is only one part of an enormous tragedy. They are now mourning a daughter, a mother, a sister, and a friend. Hayden's father, Skip Panettiere, was among those who announced her death. He described his daughter as an incredible light and a force of nature who brought immeasurable love and joy to the people who knew her and to millions who watched her on screen. The statement also asked for privacy as the family dealt with what he described as an unimaginable loss. But one of the most emotional reactions came from Wladimir Klitschko. Klitschko and Hayden first became romantically involved more than a decade ago. Their relationship attracted enormous media attention because Hayden was a Hollywood actress, while Klitschko was one of the most famous heavyweight boxers in the world. Despite their differences in age and careers, the two developed a serious relationship. They eventually became engaged and welcomed their daughter, Kaya, in 2014. For Hayden, becoming a mother was one of the most important experiences of her life. But it also came during one of her most difficult periods. Hayden later spoke openly about experiencing postpartum depression after giving birth. Her decision to talk publicly about the condition helped draw attention to an issue that many women experience privately. But her struggles did not stop there. Hayden also faced addiction and mental health challenges that eventually became major parts of her personal story. For someone who had been famous since childhood, the pressure was enormous. Hayden had been in front of cameras since she was a baby. She began modeling at only 8 months old and appeared in her first commercial when she was less than 1 year old. By the age of 4, she was already acting professionally. She appeared in television productions including One Life to Live and Guiding Light and began building a film career while still a child. She appeared in Remember the Titans alongside Denzel Washington. She voiced in Pixar's A Bug's Life. She continued working throughout her childhood and teenage years. But her life changed dramatically in 2006. That was the year Hayden became Claire Bennet. The NBC television series Heroes introduced audiences to a teenage cheerleader with extraordinary regenerative abilities. Claire could recover from injuries that would have killed an ordinary person. The character became an international phenomenon. And Hayden Panettiere became a star. For millions of viewers, she was Claire. She was young, charismatic, and talented, and her performance became one of the defining elements of Heroes. Suddenly, The child actress, who had been working since infancy, had become one of Hollywood's most recognizable young stars. But fame came with an enormous price. Hayden had never really experienced a normal childhood. While other children were attending school and growing up away from the public eye, Hayden was attending auditions, filming commercials, making movies, and giving interviews. By her teenage years, she had already spent more than a decade working professionally. Then came another career-defining role. In 2012, Hayden joined the cast of Nashville as Juliette Barnes. Juliette was a young country music superstar whose life was filled with ambition, fame, relationships, and personal struggles.